We're going to use the product or quotient rule to find the derivative of each function. We're going to use this by substitution because it's a math SL. So we're going to start by splitting up the two functions and labeling them as u and v. We're going to differentiate each and then use the formula for product or quotient rule to write out the final derivative. And I have a system where I'm going to write this one as u. So u equals 3x squared. And I'm going to let v equal sine of 2x. Now we take the derivative of each. So derivative of u with respect to x is just 6x. And the derivative of v with respect to, this should be derivative of v with respect to x. So the derivative of sine is cosine of 2x. Then you also have to use your chain rule. So derivative of 2x is just 2, and I put that in front. Now basically what we're going to do is use the product rule, and what I'm going to do is take multiply these two together and multiply those two together. So to multiply the first together, I'm going to get 6x squared cosine of 2x. So multiply the 2 and the 3 together. Now for the second part, I'm going to add, so this is going to be 6x times sine of 2x. And that's your final answer. Okay, the next one is this one. So we're going to do the same thing basically. I should have written here this equals the derivative of x. Sorry about that. Now let's go back. So the first thing I'm going to do is let u equal my first part. We're using the product rule. And v equal ln of x. So the derivative of u is 3x squared, and the derivative of v is 1 over x. So the derivative of y with respect to x, I'm going to multiply these two. So you get x cubed times 1 over x plus, then I'm going to multiply those two. And I get 3x squared times ln of x. And simplify this. This just equals x squared plus 3x squared ln of x. Okay, the next one is this one. We're going to use the quotient rule on this one. So the first thing I'm going to do is let u be my numerator, which is 3x plus 2, and v be my denominator, which is x squared minus 1. Now the derivative of u with respect to x is just 3, and the derivative of v with respect to x is just 2x. So what I'm going to do is multiply these two. So I get 3 times x squared minus 1. Since we're using the quotient rule, I'm going to put a minus here, and I'm going to multiply those two. So that's 2x times 3x plus 2. And your denominator, you're just going to write that with the squares. So that's just going to be x squared minus 1 squared. And when you simplify all this, you should get negative 3x squared minus 4x minus 3 over x squared minus 1 squared. Okay, the next one, we can use the product rule, so I'm going to let u equals x cubed and v equals e to the x. So derivative of u with respect to x equals 3x squared, and the derivative of e to the x is just e to the x. So my derivative of g is just going to be, I'm going to multiply these two. It's going to be x cubed times e to the x. And I'm going to multiply those two. 3x squared times e to the x. The last one, we have another quotient rule. So basically, I'm going to let u be my numerator. I'm going to let v be my denominator. If you take the derivative of u with respect to x, you're going to get the derivative of cosine is negative sine, and then you also have to take the derivative of 3x, which is 3, so it's going to be negative 6 sine of 3x. Okay, and then v, derivative of v with respect to x is just going to be 2. Now, to use your quotient property, what we're going to do is multiply these two. So we're going to get derivative of y with respect to x. So that's going to be 2x plus 4 times negative 6 sine of 3x minus, and then you multiply those two, and that's just going to be minus 4 cosine of 3x. Now with the quotient property, you're just going to take the denominator and square it. Alright, and then we're going to simplify the numerator again, and I don't think so. I'm just going to leave it like that because I don't want to distribute it. It'll just make it look worse. Okay, that's all. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.